Macron proposed a solution to the war in Ukraine while in Beijing, and here is how Xi Jinping responded. French President Macron and the leader of China held talks in Beijing. Among the topics discussed was Russia's war against Ukraine and ways to end it. You can find more information in our report. My name is Yevhen Sirov, and this is the Glavred channel. Subscribe and give us a like. Let's get started. During his meeting with Chinese leader Xi Jinping in Beijing, French President Emmanuel Macron proposed introducing a moratorium on Russian strikes against Ukraine's energy infrastructure during the winter period. He announced this at a press conference following the talks, according to the publication Ukrinform. We must join forces to achieve as soon as possible, at the very least, a ceasefire in the form of a moratorium on strikes against Ukraine's energy infrastructure throughout the winter, Macron said. He expressed hope that China would support this initiative and join in cooperation with European countries for the sake of stability and the protection of international law. Macron emphasized that Russian aggression against Ukraine poses serious risks to Europe's security and called on Beijing to use its influence on Moscow to help establish a just and lasting peace based on the principles of the UN Charter. Chinese leader Xi Jinping stated that Beijing supports any steps aimed at establishing peace in Ukraine and hopes for a fair and sustainable agreement to be reached through negotiations. Regarding the Ukrainian crisis, as the war is officially called in China, China supports any efforts aimed at achieving peace and hopes that all parties to the conflict, through dialogue and negotiations, will reach a fair, long-term, binding, and mutually acceptable peace agreement, he stated. He emphasized that China will continue to play a constructive role in the political settlement and will firmly oppose any attempts to shift responsibility onto it or to discredit the country. It is clear that this referred to accusations regarding large-scale economic assistance to Russia, which enables it to continue the war. As Glavred wrote, in the near future, Macron is unlikely to succeed in involving China in actively resolving the war in Ukraine or in persuading Moscow to change its position. At the same time, in the medium term, Europe has a better chance of finding common ground with Beijing than the United States does, since China views America as a strategic adversary, especially in the context of Donald Trump's policies.